Hi guys, so in this video I'll be working with Die Impress's new stamp and die set called Vintage Winter. It's something they brought to their site, mydieimpress.com, newly released, and they did send this free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I'll have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. And really kind of Die Impress with them, it's an affiliate discount code, so if you use the code VCDP you'll get 10% off your order. So as you can see, well, I kind of pointed this out a little bit whenever I had first shown the new items that they brought here in October. We have like a whole cover plate. Let me measure that for you guys, because generally it's for an A2 size card, but let's see, yeah, it's just about 5 inches by just over 3.5, so that it's basically 3/4 inches smaller, around that number, than A2 size card, so you can layer it up, matte layer in those kind of dimensions. But let's see the instruction sheet or inspo sheet. So we have like a little tree line, the die for that, we have that beautiful bird with the little die for that too. Everything that's showing has a die, right? So we have this sleigh. Look at the little classic looking snowman. I love it. Again, vintage winter. There you go. And then we have the little trees, like an elk or moose type thing. And then we have a little deer. Oh, a little gift. Several of them. Really, really cute. Little snowflake, accent pieces. Looks like there might be some stamps. And then the sentiments, season's greetings, warm wishes, things like that. So they're showing you here that you have two different kind of circular wreath looking pieces here to help you decorate that cover plate, which is really awesome. And then you build up a scene. Oh my gosh, look how cute. So they have a few different things there for you. Okay, or designs, inspo designs. So we have all the dies here like we just talked about, and then again the individual like just snowflakes, and then we have these pieces here. This one's kind of more like twiggy looking. And then of course all the different little things, and a little sleigh. How cute is that? And this one looks more like pine cones and like fir tree kind of looking wreath. So this will be really fun. So what I'm going to do is just grab some paper and we'll just get to stamping and die cutting, and we'll get a card put together. So just to start, I think I'm going to do like a little scene with like the moose and things. Deer. Maybe it's a deer. A male deer. I don't know. I need to get out more. Alright, let's see here. So I just have a piece of craft cardstock, which is going to be that topper piece. So just so I know kind of where that placement should be, since I already have my paper cut down, I'm just going to, I keep doing this whenever I have magnets, and the magnets are really not helpful when you're trying to use this. I'm going to use the pine coney one. I think that's how you would describe it, pine coney. And just giving myself an idea of where I can stamp this so that I can cut it, you know. I still have space there, so I'm going to go a little bit higher up, and that means I'm going to move that. Just trying to clear the bottom of this paper so it's a scrap piece of paper and it's a little bit messed up looking. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this flat. So this is a large stamp, and sometimes when you use a stamping platform, you can see you might get a bubble under there, and those bubbles sometimes make it so you can't stamp. So just know if you're not getting an area or it keeps missing a certain area, just try to get those bubbles out as well as you can. Usually when it's a stamp, what's actually stamping, and it's thin like this, I'm not going to worry about it too much, but just to let you know in case that does happen. Just using some dark brown ink. I'm just going to go around this area, and you best know we are going to make a shaker out of this, of course. Of course you don't have to, you can just leave it. So see, I missed this spot here. So I'm going to push down on there. And again, it might be bubbles. Ooh, that is so pretty. Do it one more time. Oh, it's a nice delicate image. Yeah, nice and dark. Okay, I'm going to go wash this off and I'll be right back. To the side. And we're going to use a little bit of like the tree line. So what I'm going to do is just stamp that in different colors of green paper, but with green ink, so just like a tone on tone. So again, like maybe this whole line here. Just put that down there. And let me grab some green ink here. And then I'll do the individual trees just to have them. I may not use all of them, but just to have them ready in case I feel like using all of them. The little tree line. I'll stamp also on this light green, some of the other green, same green, but just a lighter green, and then these little guys here, okay? So I'll be right back. Set there, all stamped out. We can make like a background, you know, with the, after the aperture, right? But what I'm gonna do, I think, is stencil on my card base. So this is an A2 size card base, again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I think I'm gonna do a stencil right on this. So I am going to grab some stencils and things for that. I do want to also stamp our little guy. What I was gonna say is that, you know, if you want to, you can stamp some snowflakes and things like in that area that's gonna be showing. Let's use this guy. And I'm gonna have him by himself, just looking regal all on his own. Now, I could stamp this on like a light brown paper, or maybe some craft cardstock, and then stamp it in brown. Or you can stamp it on white cardstock and color it in. I mean, it's up to you. I might try the craft one just to see what that might look like. Actually, maybe a color like this. Of course. I always have little scraps just next to me in a basket, and all I did was look over and I'm like, oh, that's a nice color. So maybe I'll just stamp them on here. Give myself some room. So I'm stamping him with the same brown ink I used earlier, and I'll be right back. He's a good looking creature. How cute is that? And then you can still color in, just because this is like a beige color doesn't mean you know, if you want to add a little more tan to them or whatever, or some different areas, you can definitely do that. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. Okay, so let me get my stencil from the holiday stencil set and things, and I'll be right back. Tough call. I like this, but I also like the snowflake background, you know, for this kind of thing. Whatever it is you like. Let me see. I'm gonna use this guy. I am going to place something. So I'm gonna open up my card just in case I get some like ink in here. What I'm gonna do is just open this up and place that there. That way when I go to ink, I'm not getting ink on the inside accidentally. And I'm just gonna use that. Oh, I'm using that green a lot. Look at how juicy this is already from before. I'm just gonna hold it and just add some of my little tree line on here. Okay, and it's just to add a little something, a little texture in that background. And that's about it. Maybe a little more on that there, a little more here. Yep. So that's just going to be the background of my card. I'll go wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, so I washed my hands and my stencil. And so we have our card base here. Then let's bring back our different pieces. So this guy, I'm just going to pop this on there. Now, I can see pretty well, like, I like the way that looks. It's up to you if you want to make yourself an aperture. I'm just kind of looking at the wreath itself and how much is touching this way and that way. And I will be good with that. I'm going to run this through. And then our different little creatures and things. If I could see through this die, then I will be confident to cut it, but I feel like I probably need to make an aperture. And again, aperture, I just take a little something, you know, let me use that piece. Something like this. And then I just take a piece of washi tape and I run it through, and then what happens is I'll look through that to help me cut my die cut, whatever it is that you're trying to cut. Sorry if that was shaky, I went a little fast. So we have that guy, and what we can do is flip this up, and you can look right through there and see exactly where you're cutting. That looks pretty good. I'm going to lay that back down. Put another little piece of washi to hold my papers together. And when I run this guy through, should be cut pretty well. Look at that. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the tree line if I need to, and I'll be right back. So for the tree line, I just eyeballed it. That's pretty good. And the trees also. So let's just get our bits together. I do need a little acetate. Did those a little bit differently there. I'll get that on there. We have this. That's extra. We have this guy. Our topper piece. Again, that's why I did the stenciling, just so that it can pop in the background. But it also helps us out with our little scene. Yeah, so let me get some acetate just to cover this opening here, and I'll be right back. I'm just literally going to eyeball this. Like about there. That bottom's covered, okay. About there. And I'm just going to glue that down on the back. So a little glue around here and pop that on, okay? I'll put this aside for just a moment. So I'm going to turn this back over, and just to give a pop of color here, there's like little red berries here and there. I'm just going to grab this pretty metallic pen here and just come in. And if you aren't sure where the little berries are, you can just look at the inspo sheet and it'll jog your memory there, or give you an idea, should I say. So I'm just going to go in and just add a little red here and there. I know it's hard to see on the camera because it's small, but there they are. Well, that's drying. And, you know, before we put this down, you could have just put this here and made a little circle with a pencil so you know exactly where your little scene might be, but I did not do that, so I'm just going to kind of build it up in other ways. I'll just keep checking. That looks pretty good. Now when you do put something like this down, you do want glue pretty much all around the whole thing, because you don't want your glitter getting stuck behind the trees. It's not the biggest deal, but you know, just something to think about. So if I have that there, pretty happy with that. Put this guy like in here. And then, let's see, maybe we should put him a little further back. And this guy here. Out there. And, you know, a lot of these things you can even put in the front if you wanted to. Like the trees coming out from over here. We have our big boy there. Something like that, a little bit higher up, so I'm going to put him a little bit higher up. Looking good. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and then just line it out with some foam adhesive. So with these guys, if you want to just keep your glitter within a certain space, you don't have to fill up this whole space. Obviously, you're never going to see it down here. You can just fill it out like this. So it's a little bit tighter to the adhesive. And again, you always frame it out in a way that you don't have any gaps. So I want to butt that up there. Oop. Definitely don't want any sticking out. And then I'll fill this piece, and then I'll just add a little piece there, okay? I'll rip the carriers off that. So this is ready to go. And let's get some sprinkles here. I'm just going to use a little snowy looking opal cream circles. And again, not too many. I know if you fill it up a little too much, then they don't really shake, and then what's the point? So you just want to put a few, enough to move around and not get stuck. And there we go. And we'll put that there. Oh, good. I was going to say, oh no. But of course the gel pen is dry already, of course. Alright, give it a nice squish. And there is our little scene in there. Really cute. Okay, I'm going to see about our sentiment. Okay, guys. So we could have stamped this right on our card base. I'm just going to do something separate, but looking at it, I like this one because it has the snowflake wishes, and then we have our little snow lake in there, but it's a lot of greenery, so I'm thinking maybe seasoned greetings and warm wishes, and I'll stamp it on this green paper, and I'll stamp it in brown. If it doesn't show up too well, then I'll stamp it again in black. Let me see, where do I have like a straight line? I always like to cut my paper if I have a straight line, at least one that'll help me, unless you want to cut out with a die, of course, afterwards. So I'm going to try that out, and we'll see what happens. Ah, sorry, I already messed that one up. My little ink pad was still in the way. But it looked pretty good, so I think it'll be fine. Season's greetings and warm wishes. Okay, I'm either going to cut this out with a die or just cut it by hand, but I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cut that up. Again, that's why whenever I stamp, I try to find one piece, if I'm using like a scrap piece of paper, that at least has a straight line. Not something that I was kind of messing around with earlier, so that way I know that I can start there and then just keep going around, and that's all I did. I just, you know, I had a pretty straight line, and then I just went from there and cut around and around, and that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to glue that on. The card already has the dimension from this, so I'm just going to leave it flat. But if you want to back it up with another color or something, that's always lovely. A dovetail, use a die, however it is that you like. But there it is. A little more masculine take on a card. Thanks so much, Die Press, for sending these items for review. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and along with the discount code VCDP that, again, you can enter at checkout for 10% off your purchases on mydieandpress.com. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.